Did Blake Lively just win her motion to dismiss, or did we just fall out of a coconut tree? Lots to get into, and let's clear up some stuff. I hope you're ready for it. Let's dive in. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's going on, guys? Welcome on in. Sorry, I didn't do like a traditional Friday news update because obviously I released the panel with Dave Neal and Donna Bowling, which, by the way, if you guys haven't tuned into that, definitely tune into that. Let me know what your thoughts of it were. Did you enjoy it? Were you taking sides? Were you throwing wine? Were you eating popcorn? Let me know what you thought about that. But I just figured originally I wanted to do the news update before the town hall panel, but then I was like, you know what, let's just release the town hall panel and then I'll do a separate episode. And I was kind of beat on Friday, so I figured I would just do it today. I just finished taping Sean Atwood's YouTube channel. He's really big in the UK. I mean, he's got like almost 1 million followers on YouTube. So I was really grateful that I got to go on his YouTube channel and talk about Blake Lively and Meghan Markle and the Diddy of it all. So if you guys want to check that out, I was just on Sean Atwood's channel on YouTube. So definitely tune into that. And then also, guys, do you want to see my shirt? I technically was not supposed to reveal this until Monday when I officially announce it, but I feel like I'm just excited. Look at what my shirt, look at what it says. It says Daddy Sleuth, you guys asked. And I am launching new Daddy Sleuth and Mommy Sleuth merch. And not only are you going to get Daddy Sleuth and Mommy Sleuth, but you're also going to get Justice for Baldoni tees are coming on in. So you can be a Mommy Sleuth, a Daddy Sleuth, or you can do Justice for Baldoni. New merch is dropping on Monday, so you can get ready to order the new merch. And what I love about this, it's limited edition. So you're only going to be able to get it until, I believe, April 11th. Yep. So you only have until April 11th to buy the merch, number one. And number two, I am donating 50% of all merch proceeds until April 11th to the nomore.org foundation. So No More is an organization that's working to end DV and SV against men and women and victims. So I figured, while they're calling us grifters, why not do something good about it? So all the mommy sleuths, all the daddy sleuths unite so you can order your merch. Get your Daddy Sleuth shirts, get your Mommy Sleuth shirts, and get your Justice for Justin shirts. And when you do, definitely take pictures, post them on Instagram, tag me in them so I can repost and share them. And just know that 50% of all merch sales, so that includes these merch sales, so Daddy Sleuth, Mommy Sleuth, Justice for Justin. But then even if you buy any of the classic Zack Pack hoodies or Zack Pack t-shirts or Zacktivated tank tops, whatever you buy, I am donating 50% of all of my merch proceeds until April 11th to the No More Foundation. So get them while you can, get them while they're hot before they sell out. Because like I said, these Mommy Sleuth, Daddy Sleuth, and Justice for Justin are all limited edition merch items. So get them while you can. But I mean, listen, ladies, you can wear the Daddy Sleuth shirts if you want to be a daddy or you want to be a mommy, whatever you want to be. Rock it, feel that vibe, get it. Do it, baby. Do it. Own it, baby. Own it. So definitely be sure to clock in those merch sales. Technically, you can buy it now. I'm not supposed to say that. I wasn't supposed to announce this until Monday, but I can't keep a secret. So you can use the link down below to shop, get the Daddy Sleuth, Mommy Sleuth, Justice for Justin. And like I said, now until, I guess technically we're launching now, my team's going to be like, what? You were not supposed to announce this until Monday. Did you just fall out of a coconut tree? And I'm gonna have to tell them, yes. Listen. If you've been around on the No Filter channel and if you've been a listener or watcher of No Filter for years, I never follow my deadlines. I always tell the secrets before I'm supposed to. So screw it. 50% of all merch proceeds will be donated. Yes, it is available not nationwide, internationally as well. There is a link below. The official link will be announced on Monday, but technically the link in the description for merch works as well. The merch is already up. Again, I wasn't supposed to say any of this, but whatever. Here it is. Here we are. But yeah, so definitely get your orders in. You get early access if you're if you're watching this live and listening to this. But what are you going to get? Are you going to buy Daddy Sleuth, Mommy Sleuth, or Justice for Justin? Dun, dun, dun. Isabel says, if you clickbait me, I will never come back. Well, actually, Zach's favorite line, did you fall out of a coconut tree? Yes. Wait, did you see the State Farm commercial? No, I haven't seen the State Farm commercial. Okay, so this isn't, so the title of this, oh yeah, that's right. Great Mummy's Day present. That's right. Mother's Day is coming up. Mommy Sleuth would be a great gift for you to get your mom. So the title of this episode is Blake Lively about to win her motion to dismiss? And this is primarily in response to, and I love them. I love Ask Two Lawyers. I love them very much. But they put out a video the other day covering Blake Lively's motion to dismiss arguments and saying that it was a really strong argument that they think the judge would really consider. And so I remember when I first kind of skimmed through the motion to dismiss, I was like, oh, she's like trying to enact these privileges. Like, all right, litigation privilege. We already knew about any of this. It's not that strong of an argument. But then the Ask Two Lawyers guys went on their YouTube channel and they're like, actually, it is. And so I was going through it and I was trying to like make more sense of it. And I was like, oh, is she about to win this? Like, could she get dismissed from this lawsuit? And so they freaked me out a bit. And so I was like, let me really digest all of this, because on top of that, there was a lot more information that came out. Justin Baldoni is now suing Stephanie Jones, which has proven our theory that Stephanie Jones is the one that spearheaded all of this when she gave the text messages with Jennifer Abel and Melissa Nathan and Justin Baldoni, when she gave those text messages to Blake Lively's team, which they claim was done via a subpoena. When I had the Ask Two Lawyers guys on, Keith and Stewart, they were like, this is weird. We don't think the subpoena, like it's possible that this was an improper subpoena, yada, 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 right? So I did this so that we could kind of clear up some of that information, because now that I've had a moment to really digest all of it and look at it, I have an attorney who you guys love, who's a hunk of burn and love, Daniel Ferruz, and he's supposed to come on the podcast either on Tuesday or Wednesday. So just know he's going to come on. He's an attorney here in California. He specializes in these types of cases, specifically like workplace harassment or housing issues. And so he's been on this channel before. He talked about the LA fires. He's talked about the Tom Girardi legal scandal here in LA with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erica Jane. So is she about to win her motion to dismiss? It's interesting because someone mentioned Popcorn Planet just did a video on it, and Harvey Levin on TMZ also talked about this on TMZ this week. Long story short, do we think that she's going to win this motion? It's unlikely, but what I really want to talk about are these three privileges that she's enacting that are, or she's trying to activate, that really make this entire argument about the Me Too movement, if anything, could really change. Like, my concern is that this case, I mean, I don't know if it's a concern or a good thing, but I really think this entire case and how it plays out is going to affect a lot of legislation for victims of SH, of SA, of DV, just victims in general. I think are going to be really affected by this, specifically with this California Civil Code 47.1. And not only that, but also when it comes to the press. However the judge ultimately rules is what's going to be the biggest determination here. So let's get into these things. Harvey Levin. I almost said Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Levin was just talking about this on TMZ, though, and he was basically saying, he made a really good point that that the judge's job is to rule based off of, what did he say? I wrote it down here somewhere. The judge's job is to make a ruling based off of the law, not based off of matters of fact. That comes to the jury makes that decision. So it's very likely that this will end up moving to trial and that she may not win this motion to dismiss. But let's get into this and why her argument is really strong, but where I think it kind of falls flat, right? And it ultimately comes down to like a jurisdiction issue. I remember Donna called me and she's like, "Oh my God, the Ask Two Lawyers guys are saying Blake's gonna win this." And I was like, "Oh my God, is what?" And then once I like had a minute to read everything and digest everything, and then I was like, "Don, it's fine. I don't think." And then other attorneys came out and said that they don't think she's gonna win this motion to dismiss. But let's get into these three privileges because they are really strong, but also very broad. So then in it could also, like I said, dismantle this whole entire Me Too movement of protections that came out in the last 2 years here in California that we're supposed to protect victims, specifically victims in the workplace, right? Where they have a powerful boss and that powerful boss is able to retaliate against them for speaking out about harassment. However, in this case, the argument really comes down to, is she speaking about harassment or is she speaking out about this harassment that may not actually be true? Like she may be lying, which is why Justin Baldoni is suing her for defamation because he's claiming the harassment did not actually happen. Rebecca Thomas says, has the CRD complaint, thank you for the super chat. It says, has the CRD complaint been investigated because everything is based on it? Was it even the correct venue if the alleged harassment was in New York and not California? So that was my question from the very beginning. And so this is why this is going to be a big issue of jurisdiction that the judge is going to have to decide on. Or if he's going to allow this, considering there is this motion to dismiss, right? So technically, the alleged harassment happened in New York and in New Jersey, which is where the film was shot, right? That's where they filmed It Ends With Us, in Jersey and in New York. So, and not only that, but then the meetings at the penthouse, that was in New York. So all of this occurred on the East Coast. So that's why I thought it was always very strange that Blake Lively decided to file this motion or file this CRD complaint, sorry, in California. Like that to me was always very strange. Which then brings us to, well, what is so special about California? And so what's special about California are these privileges. And so there's obvious these privileges that she's now trying to enact that will protect her and the Lively parties, which is what they're known as collectively. We have Ryan Reynolds, Leslie Sloan, Vision PR, New York Times. And so these privileges are a fair reporting privilege, a litigation privilege, and a privilege that protects victims of harassment, right? And so when you combine all three of these, because they're very key and they're also newly more broad because of the Me Too movement and because of the new protocols that have been put in place, again, to protect people from speaking out that are in more vulnerable positions in opposed to somebody that has more power in the workplace, right? A boss, an agent, a whatever CEO that is taking advantage of an intern or whatever the case may be. It's to protect people that are essentially the David in a David and Goliath situation. However, the interesting thing here is this case, as we see it, Justin Baldoni is the David here. It's very obvious that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds hold more of the power. Then you have a juggernaut like Vision PR, which is run by Leslie Sloan. Then you have the New York Times, which is like top tier in reporting. Then you have the WME element of it that is, super powerful here in Hollywood. So it's very clear who the Goliath is. And the Goliath is not Justin Baldoni. It's Blake Lively. So even though these provisions were meant to protect victims that were vulnerable, it doesn't appear that Blake Lively is vulnerable, but is activating this full California trifecta that would essentially make it virtually impossible for someone like Justin Baldoni to fight back against these allegations. And honestly, thank God he has somebody like Steve Sorowitz who can fund to keep this thing going, right? So these privileges allow Blake Lively to report this alleged harassment, to allow the publication of this alleged harassment in a venue or medium like the New York Times, and would also protect her from being retaliated against for discussing publicly or disclosing this alleged harassment, right? So in a post-Me Too world, this was meant to protect victims from people with power from silencing them. But the protections are still very broad because these are newer provisions that, if anything, we're seeing how they can be weaponized or manipulated in a case like this. So she filed the CRD complaint in California, but had the news published in the New York Times. Very strange, very sus. There's also a lot of questions about whether or not this is an officially filed CRD complaint because the version that was released by the New York Times appears to be a draft of it. There's also the timing, right, which the New York Times is trying to fight back on and say, oh, well, technically, yes, we may have been working on this since October and we didn't publish until December. So technically, the litigation and the litigation privilege and fair reporting privileges, those what's interesting about that is they're trying to argue that they are protected in this because they were technically still working off of what was about to be a filed legal document, which was the CRD complaint. So that the publishing of the article happened after the publishing of the CRD complaint, or after the filing of the CRD complaint, rather. So therefore, they're still protected. But the question comes down to, is the CRD complaint really protected? And if they were working on this prior to the publishing, which they seem to have admitted, or even if they haven't admitted it, the metadata from the server, the media that was uploaded to the server at this point has exposed that they were working on this for quite some time. So that's where it gets a little tricky with the timeline of it all. And then to take that a step further outside of the timeline, we also get into what the New York Times has admitted was thousands of documents that they personally reviewed. Now, these thousands of documents are not technically part of the CRD complaint, and they're not attached to the CRD complaint. So are those documents protected? Because if the timeline is off, and then these additional documents that the New York Times said that they reviewed, if that doesn't fall within the fair reporting privileges or the litigation privileges, then it doesn't fully protect Blake Lively and the New York Times the way that they're trying to say that it does, right? We'll have to see. The judge is ultimately going to have to make that determination, especially considering that, is this CRD complaint even proper to file in California, considering these alleged incidents happened on the East Coast, in New Jersey and in New York? And it wouldn't make sense to file them in California unless you wanted to make sure that you had these privileges enacted, which is where it looks like there was a much more, or it appears to be a much more insidious plan. So when Justin Baldoni is claiming that they're the ones that are launching the smear campaign to bury him, that does kind of make sense, because it doesn't make any sense. I get it. Wayfair is technically a California company, but again, how can you hold somebody accountable for crimes that happen in a different state? Wouldn't you want to resolve that in the state that, not only the state that this occurred in, but the state that she lived in, right? Because when she filed her lawsuit in New York. So again, this is where it gets really, really tricky. And then despite this alleged harassment happening in New York and New Jersey, where the movie was filmed, she's fighting right now with this motion to dismiss to have California law apply in her case. It doesn't make any sense that California law would apply in this case. It is presumably to make sure that these privileges are invoked in this case, which she clearly outlines in this week's filing for a motion to dismiss. But if you have strong evidence, you really don't need a plan that checks all of these boxes to meet all of these privileges, right? Like, you wouldn't need the privileges. You could really just focus on the evidence to prove your case. But the real issue is, I think this exposes how someone can manipulate and exploit these privileges, which in turn may ultimately end up hurting victims more than it helps to protect them in the long run. And that's why I think so many people are so passionate about this case, is because it really is about protecting those people that are more vulnerable. And Blake Lively is not someone that is more vulnerable. So, I don't know. Lisa says, clearly the New York Times pushed Blake Lively to make a CRD complaint to give their article some meat, and then waited to publish until after she filed. I mean, we don't know who put that plan into place, right? This alleged plan into place. Was it the New York Times that said? I mean, obviously they would know, right? They could be like, well, we can report on this, and here are the loopholes that we can jump through to make sure that not only can we report on this, but here are the extra provisions that we can make sure protect us legally and protect you legally, right? Somebody knew about these privileges, and somebody knew about California law and how much more it was designed post Me Too to protect victims, and to make sure that victims weren't silenced or bought off in some way that prevents them from being able to disclose these details publicly. So it just shows that there is so much more of a deeper plan that was in place here that makes it look so bad. But so, like I said, this really comes down to an issue of jurisdiction. Is the judge going to allow these California provisions to be allowed in this case? Harvey Levin doesn't seem to think so. Popcorn Planet just did an episode on it. They don't seem to think so either. They think that Blake Lively will not get dismissed, and ultimately the judge will make this be a determination for the jury to decide whether or not this alleged harassment did take place or did not take place. Legal Bites broke down the CRD and raised some issues Blake Lively may end up in because of it. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But so if anything, I still stand by the fact that I think that these are all delay tactics, right? And I think Brian Friedman not only is super smart, but I think Brian Friedman did a really good job. So he didn't file, I believe he filed responses to Blake Lively's claims, but he didn't amend the actual complaint to address them. And so let me see, Brian Friedman. Let me pull up his statement because he made a really good statement this week. I think it's this one. He issued a statement. Okay. He said, Lively's recent motion to dismiss herself from the self concocted disaster. I mean, that's a really good way to put it. Disaster she initiated is one of the most abhorrent examples of abusing our legal system. 1000%. I agree with him. Stringent rules are put in place to protect the innocent and allow individuals to rightfully defend themselves. He said that laws are not meant to be twisted and curated by privileged elite to fit their own personal agenda, which is what seems like she's trying to do here, right? He says Daily Mail reports Friedman vowed to continue to hold Lively accountable for her actions of pure malice, which include falsely accusing my client of harassment and retaliation. Friedman said Lively's fantastical claims will be swiftly debunked as discovery moves forward, easily disproved with actual evidentiary proof. Lively accused Baldoni of sexual harassment. Lively's team, this was put together by Ezra Hudson. The team's led by Mike Gottfried. Their team said the lawsuit is a profound abuse, that Justin Baldoni's lawsuit is a profound abuse of the legal process that has no place in federal court. California law now expressly prohibits suing victims to make the decision to speak out against harassment or retaliation, whether in a lawsuit or in the press. So you can see that they very much wanted to make sure that they were covered from the press side and from the legal side. The meritless and retaliatory lawsuit runs headfirst into the three legal obstacles, including litigation, fair report, and sexual harassment privileges, that latter on which contains a mandatory fee shifting provision that will require the likes of billionaire Steve Sorowitz, Wayfarer Studios, and others brought frivolous defamation claims against Miss Lively to pay damages. In other words, in an epic self-own, the Wayfarer party's attempt to sue Miss Lively into oblivion has only created more liability for them, and deservedly so, given what they have done. It's sick, like completely wackadoodle bonkers sick with what Lively and her team are doing. And it's also just infuriating. Let's see. I want his full statement. Oh, Megyn Kelly made a statement too. Oh no, Friedman said this. Stringent rules are put in place to protect the innocent and allow individuals to rightfully defend themselves. Laws are not meant to be twisted and curated by privileged elites to fit their own agenda. As we said in response to Mr. Reynolds' same cowardly measures, we will continue to hold Miss Lively accountable for her actions of pure malice, which include falsely accusing my clients of harassment and retaliation. Her fantastical claims will be swiftly debunked as discovery moves forward, easily proven with actual evidentiary fact. We strategically made the decision to file. Okay, yeah, here it is. This morning, which saw Judge Lewis J. Lehman's deny Vision PR Sloan's request to pause discovery. Okay, so this is also really big. So much news came out in the last 48 hours. But so just to update you, in addition to Justin Baldoni also suing Stephanie Jones, Leslie Sloan's motion to stay discovery has been denied. So the judge said, we're not going to stay discovery. Discovery will move forward. We don't know when Sloan will be whether or not she'll be dismissed and when that will be decided. But at least for now, she was trying to pause the discovery process, and the judge said no, discovery will be moving forward. Okay, Friedman said, we strategically made the decision to file answers to these complaints. This is not because we do not have grounds to file motions to dismiss, but because in this day of courts giving wide discretion for leave to amend, we are not interested in providing them with a chance to learn just how poorly their legal theory has been drafted and a roadmap of how to correct it. We would rather lock them into their deficiently drafted complaints and thus force them to proceed through the case with lawsuits that are replete with glaring legal and factual problems. Ryan and Blake are going to have to dance with the one that brought them here. And if they expect us to help educate them on how to do this properly, then they're going to have to go to the hardware store. Then they are going to the hardware store for milk. Sorry, let me reread that because I need to deliver that. Ryan Ryan and Blake are going to have to dance with the one that brought them here. And if they expect us to help educate them on how to do this properly, then they are going to the hardware store for milk. Friedman is coming out swinging. He is coming out swinging, swinging, swinging. And then, of course, Lively's team responded by saying the late night fury of answers instead of emotions to dismiss revealed that the Baldoni, Steve Sorowitz, and Wayfair defendants know that they have no legal arguments remotely capable of dismissing our complaint. They have instead accepted that Miss Lively's complaint states valid legal claims and that they could not muster a single reason to dismiss. Meanwhile, every person and the entity the Baldoni Wayfair team sued has moved to dismiss their meritless PR stunt. Well, it doesn't look like the judge is going to dismiss any of them based off of their motions to dismiss. So we'll have to wait and see. Thank you, Victoria Stavo, for the super sticker. But yeah, it doesn't look like, I mean, now that Leslie Sloan's motion to stay discovery has been denied, I kind of feel like, they're not going to win their motions to dismiss. Laura says, I lost trust in the Ask Two lawyers after they repeatedly praised Blake's lawyer for writing nonsensical, stupid motion. I disagree. I don't think that they did a bad job. Listen, it was a strong argument. There are just serious issues that are wrong with that argument. And I think a lot of it comes down to jurisdiction. Their attorneys, I think they were very open and honest in the beginning of their video by saying, like, listen, we are lawyers. We could get it wrong sometimes. We're just being honest with our raw reaction to this. And like I said, when I read it at first, I was like, oh, this is frivolous and ridiculous. And then when I, went deeper into like 47.1, California Civil Code 47.1, I was like, oh, wait, this may be a strong case. And then I remembered, oh, actually, this isn't a California jurisdiction, Asked Two lawyers praised the writing in Blake's doc the day after they slammed the one from Ryan Reynolds. It makes sense. It was good, right? Yeah, that's the thing. It was good, right? Like the way that it was drafted. So Ryan Reynolds, in his motion to dismiss, came out very hard. It seems like he was very much like rah, slamming the table. And it was like he was doubling down, calling Justin Baldoni a predator. It was just a very, very strongly worded motion. Whereas this motion didn't seem as emotional as Ryan Reynolds' motion. This one was more based off of the technicalities of the facts. And so at first, when I went through it a second time, I was like, oh shit, is it possible that they're likely going to get out on a technicality, right? Remember, like Jussie Smollett, Bill Cosby, people that ultimately ended up going free, but not because of the law, but because of technicalities. And I was like, holy crap, is Blake Lively about to jump through one of these loopholes? And it was absolutely within the realm of possibility. However, I think Harvey Levin made a really good point about like, this isn't for the judge to decide. These are matters of fact for the jury to decide, and the judge can only go based off of the law. And he didn't think that the law was, strong enough to support Blake Lively, because the issue here is the harassment real or is it not? And that's something for a jury to decide. That's not something for the judge to decide. The judge, again, can only rule based off of the law. And so because the issue it's not a matter of, is he retaliating against the harassment? The real question is the harassment real? Did it happen or not? So that's where I think Baldoni's team is a bit stronger, number one. And number two, it also is a jurisdiction issue of, is the judge going to allow California law to apply? In this case, I don't think California law should apply because, again, this alleged harassment took place in 2 other states that are not California. It just did. And I spotted the red flag in the California filing from the very beginning. It didn't make sense. And I remember saying that from the beginning. I'm like, wait, why did she file this in California? And then the lawsuit she filed was ultimately in New York. Didn't make sense. So, I don't think that we should be upset with the Ask Two attorneys. Listen, they did a very great analysis of it. I thought they provided really good commentary. And when it comes to this case, I think it's really important that we get opposing viewpoints, and I think we get people with different legal perspectives that are able to help us analyze this from a full circle. Because when we have people that are critical and we have people that are, more lenient and more, willing to give Blake Lively a win, I think if anything, not only does that help us look at the case more objectively, but it also can help us spot the loopholes. And I think the Ask Two attorneys guys, their review of her motion to dismiss, ultimately, when we were able to look at it objectively and allow for other opinions to come in, we're then able to help us, like myself, spot different loopholes in, like, yes, it is strong, but where can we, look at the white space on the board here, right? And so I think it's really helpful that we have those different perspectives. I just logged on. What is this true? Well, that I was breaking down that seemed to have been a theory, but it doesn't. I don't personally believe that she is going to win, and here are the reasons why. She will still find a way to get her way if it makes no damn sense. She's gonna try everything she can. I love that your profile picture is a photo of Amber Heard. Um, she's gonna try to find a way, um, every way she can. But see, here's my thing, and this is my point, is that she's trying to find legal loopholes to jump through rather than she's focusing on the evidence, which we still have not seen. Um, Sentry Butterfly says, "Yes, I agree. They are lawyers, and by nature, look at it from an objective point of view." And I think that that's helpful, and we need that as us. We need these legal experts to weigh in and give us, a well-rounded analysis. Sarah Paul says, "Well, now we know why she did file it in California first, that she could try to do this." That's what it's looking like. We don't know that as confirmation, but that's what it appears to be. Is that she filed in California so that she can go beyond just the litigation privilege, but also be able to now enact this Civil Code 47.1, which protects victims of sexual harassment. Um, uh, so yeah, that's where we're at. She has no case if she's using all these tactics. Justin put out the website 2 months ago and sat back and has had nothing to do because his case is solid. Yeah, it appears his case is pretty solid. How can I DM you regarding Jen Shaw taking 88,000 from my parents? We just discovered this becoming conservators and guardianship through bank statements. Oh my gosh. Yeah, DM me. I mean, it sounds like you need to report that to the feds. Trin says, "How is she not embarrassed?" I mean, I don't know. You look so handsome. Thank you. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Got it, got it. Yes. I thought she filed a new motion. No, it's the same one. I'm just catching up. Melanie Offscript stated that she violated California law when it came to the civil complaint as she didn't wait 30 days for the right to sue. She didn't wait 30 days for the right to sue. She violated California law when it came to the civil complaint as she didn't wait 30 days for the right to sue. So you have to wait for 30 days after you file the complaint to then sue. Well, then again, remember, that's the lawsuit was not filed in California. The lawsuit was filed in New York. Very important how we're playing with the different states here and the different state laws. So who knows if that's a violation of California law? It may only be a violation if she filed her lawsuit within 30 days or prior to the 30 days in California, but she didn't file in California. She filed in New York. My technicality has a yeah, so that's, I think it's a lot of technicalities. KS said, "Ask Two lawyers did point out that the way the facts can be investigated is by jury trial, not by settlement, not by summary judgment. Friedman always said that there will be a jury trial." Yeah, I mean, that's what it's looking like. Blake is so hot mess. I would side eye her in person. Yeah. I would like to see Justin's cut of the movie and his promo tour. We'll see if we ever get that. The Civil Rights Department issues a letter for a right to sue upon completion of the investigation, if my memory serves me correctly. Yes, but again, remember, she didn't sue him in California. The CRD complaint was filed in California, but the lawsuit was filed in New York, probably because her legal team knew she couldn't file her lawsuit that quickly out of California. So they decided to file it in New York, which again made more sense from the beginning because she lives in New York and this is where the movie was filmed. And this is where a lot of these alleged incidents took place, was in New York and New Jersey. Russ says this is going to be a long year. Well, it's going to be a long summer because now when we officially move into Discovery, the depositions begin. And when the depositions begin, whoo, Rain says, wait, she won. No, she did not win. She thought she had Ezra, her attorney, thought she gave us like a Elwood serve. And it's like, sorry, baby, not today, Satan. Not today. So, as two lawyers made me panic after listening to the other videos. I understood how her filing for dismissal made her look even worse and told her about having all sorts of allegations and no fact. Exactly. But the legal arguments were great. Okay, so just a reminder, guys, for those of you that are new, I'm wearing my new Daddy Sleuth t-shirt. Daddy Sleuth, it has a lotus here. I also am launching, which technically I'm not supposed to reveal that it's available now. I was supposed to wait until Monday to announce, but I got the samples and I was too excited and my team's going to get mad at me for announcing it early. But here we are. The link to shop is in the description below. But so I have Daddy Sleuth, Mommy Sleuth, and then I also have this new Justice for Justin shirt with they all have lotuses on them in honor of DV awareness and SV awareness. And for now until April 11th, I am donating 50% of all of my merch sales. So it doesn't have to even be these 3 limited edition shirts. These are only available until April 11th or until supplies last. So these are very limited edition. Get them while you can before they sell out. But they are available now, and 50% of all merch sales. So that includes Zack Pack hoodies, No Filter hats, Zack Pack shirts, Zack Debated tank tops, all of it. 50% of all merch proceeds from now until from now until April 11th, I will be donating to nomore.org, the No More Foundation, to end DV and SV against survivors. I want to bring awareness to survivors and awareness to DV. Listen, we're all talking about this. We're being accused of being grifters here. So why not use this to do something good? Let's say, fuck the Stephanie McNeils of the world. Fuck the glamour hit pieces. Let's reclaim the Daddy Sleuth title and the Mommy Sleuth title. Let's show them that we're not to be fucked around with. And let's actually create some positive change and hopefully bring not just awareness, but try to raise some money for a good organization like No More. So nomore.org is where I will be donating proceeds. The link is in the description below. The official link I'll announce on Monday, but technically the merch link in the description below also works too. I'm not supposed to say that, but it's okay. Don't tell my manager. It's fine. It's technically available because I had to like test the site. And so it's technically available. You can get them now. Daddy Sleuth, Mommy Sleuth, and Justice for Justin shirts, all available now. 50% of all proceeds from all merch sales. So that includes the hoodies, the hats, everything. 50% gets donated to, I will be donating to 50% of my proceeds. I will be donating to No More. Yeah. Let me know in the live chat which shirts you plan to buy or which merch pieces you plan to buy. Justice for Justin Lee. Yes. Ooh, how about some toxic positivity shirt? That's funny. Can I plead the fifth to protect the select from incriminating myself in crime, not torts? CRD gave the right to sue the same day as her complaint. They didn't even investigate. Oh, that's interesting. CRD complaint was filed in California December 20th, but she got closed the same day and got immediate right to sue letter, but no investigation happened, no formal HR or union complaint when it supposedly happened. That's weird. That needs to be investigated. We need to look into. I didn't know about that. I know it's standard. Usually it comes within 30 days and they have to give you a letter to sue. I mean, could it be that she's Blake Lively and she can finagle the legal system? Remember, gang, we are mommy sleuths and daddy sleuths. Even if we are child free, we are birthing truth. Exactly. So listen, if you don't want a mommy sleuth or a daddy sleuth shirt, that's why I also got the Justice for Justin shirts. So you have options. I mean, I technically don't have kids, but I'm the daddy sleuth. We're reclaiming that title. We're taking it over. We're saying piss off. Okay. Daddy sleuth. Daddy sleuth. Do 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 do. Mommy sleuth. Do 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 do. Mommy sleuth do 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 do. Mommy sleuth do 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 do. Zach, are the Mommy Sleuth hoodies available? No Mommy Sleuth hoodie. They're just t-shirts. There are the classic Zack pack hoodies that you can get. That's the only hoodie piece we have, but it's just 3 new t-shirts. It was the easiest and fastest for us to produce and make sure we can get it out to you guys. Daddy Sleuth sounds badass, doesn't it? Like, I feel like the ladies can rock the Daddy Sleuth shirts too. Like, you know, we bring that BDE to the table, baby. Oh, just had an epiphany. Didn't know if anyone thought about what is the epiphany. Please do share. Kirsten, yes, my kind of channel. Yeah, it happens. You're doing a great job. When can we go for coffee? I will buy all the shirts. I love it. Yes, we need to do coffee. Patty says, do you think it's possible for the judge to expedite the hearing? Possibly. He said that he likely would if it got out of control. You've officially done more for DV awareness than Blake Lively. Thank you. There was an employment attorney on Popcorn, who said 47.1 would be fought easily because it implies a length of time for SH, which you are supposed to prove. And Blake Lively only pointed one scene. Yes, exactly. It was also funny that they were trying to argue like a statute of limitations issue with the 17-point list. That they're like, well, technically the statute of limitations is up because Blake presented that list in November of 2024. And we're well back past that 1-year statute of limitations, which is BS because it came up again and again and again. And he filed his defamation suit not in response to the original producing of that letter, but in the publishing of it in the New York Times and in the complaint. So there were a lot of arguments in there that I thought were kind of dumb and funny. I remember Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial started. I was just hoping Johnny could clear his name, not dreaming that he would actually win because it never happens, yet he did. We're fine. Yeah. Evidence is present in a clear and concise manner. Justin's team has followed everything perfectly with the legal strategy. I cannot believe it can be dismissed. I don't think it'll be dismissed. I think they're smart. You and Colleen Hoover sneaking things past your merch managers. Oh, Colleen Hoover. I just bought 2 shirts. Yay! Which ones did you buy, Sarah? Thank you guys so much. I mean, honestly, like, listen, anybody that knows how merch works, when you're doing online, like, you really often aren't even making money off of merch. I just want to do something good while we can, while they want to accuse us of grifters. And listen, you don't see me on here asking for don't give me super chats. Buy the merch so that we can show the Stephanie McNeils of the world that, one, you're not going to bully us by degrading us and discounting us with these stupid mommy sleuth terms. We're going to take it back. We're going to reclaim it. We're going to own it. And, we're going to fight for what we believe is truth and justice. So, and like I said, these are limited edition, these 3 new items, but everything, all the merch sales, 50% I'm donating. As a male DV survivor, thank you, Zach, for doing this. Listen, I just, proceeds are pledged or donated. I guess I'm pledging them right now, but they will be donated once they come in. Listen, the money goes to the merch company and then they pay me out. So when I get my payout, I will donate them. As of right now, the donations are pledged. I will let you know when the donations have been made, but the donations can't be made until until the sales first come in. So I know you're playing with the Amber Heard thing about pledged versus donated, which I was very particular about because I come from the nonprofit world. That's my background, is in celebrity nonprofits. So thank you, Laura. Thank you, Rhonda. What about in my opinion t-shirt? That's funny. Jed Wallace versus Blake Lively in Texas. That's going to be interesting. We shall see. Yeah, Amber Heard did the same thing. Yes, she pledged the donation, but she never actually donated. So right now it is a pledge. And when the sales come in, then they will be donated. But as of right now, yes, I want to be very clear. It is a pledge, and you can hold me accountable to that. What would we do without content creators? Legacy media doesn't give us anything but Blake's side. Yeah. Where can I find the merch? So there's a link in the description below that should take you directly to the merch site. There'll be a new vanity URL that I'll announce on Monday when I'm technically supposed to announce this, but you guys are getting early first dibs. Oh, it's filed in Jed Wallace's case as well, the CRD issues. Okay. Jed Wallace has an RTS letter in his case file in Texas. Yep. Listen, I think Jed Wallace is going to get a nice fat settlement from Blake Lively. Make a justice sleuth. His shirts are so soft. I still wear my Team Ariana shirt. Thank you, Danny. These are really soft. I always like to make sure the fabric is high quality because I don't like cheap merch. And listen, I've worked with companies that put out cheap merch, so I'm very particular about the quality of the shirts. These aren't tri-blends, so I will say that, Danny. My favorite are tri-blends. Tri-blends are a little harder to get out, and they're a little more expensive. So with this specifically, it's not a tri-blend, but the tri-blends are my favorites. Motions to dismiss are difficult to win. Yes, usually they are. You can request an immediate right to sue letter, which I'm sure they did. Zaddy Sleuth, yes. What I'm trying to say is, sorry, Blake can't use the Bill 9933 because she didn't follow the formal California process for the complaint in her motion to dismiss. Got it. Thank you for clarifying that. I just ordered justice for Justin. Mommy Sleuth, yay! You're our daddy and mine. Thank you, Tracy. You are my dad. You guys. I love it. I'm not going to lie. You've grown on me throughout this process. Was I not like? What about me did you not like before, and how did I grow on you? Please share. I want to get the Daddy Sleuth T-shirt for Andy and Perez since you already have one, Zach. Well, I actually maybe I'll reach out to Perez. But I am sending. So I'm sending these shirts all to Donna and Andy and Dave and Colonel Kurtz and Ari Jacobs and asked two attorneys, asked two lawyers. I'm sending them all the shirts and I'm hoping that they wear them. They're supposed to get them this upcoming week. And I'm hoping that they wear them on their channels to help promote. So just know I'm sending them all shirts. So if they don't wear them, they don't support other creators. You're the daddy of the internet sleuths. Yes, I love it. Piss off. You are officially a Brit. Am I? Dog, mommy, and daddy. Yep. That counts too. If the judge dismisses, which isn't likely, Baldoni's team can still refile an amended lawsuit. Yes, that is true. She's not getting out of this. She's not. The jury is still out on whether she filed the complaint with malice. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another really big one is the malice piece. So what are the other? Sorry, I kind of glossed over that. The issues that I pointed out. The CRD complaint, which I talked about. How it's more broad and now includes recorded communications of SH beyond just like an actually filed document. But if they have to prove that her accusations are reasonable and done without malice, so they have to prove that first, which I don't think they'll be able to do. There's also the thousands of documents that the New York Times that they reviewed in order to publish this. That I don't think gets protected, and then they have to prove malice. So, and what I've heard is that the key piece that fights their malice claim, their argument about doing this without malice, is the statement that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds wanted Baldoni and Wayfair to issue. So that statement to me is a very clear example of the malice that was, here. So yeah, and it's not retaliation because Baldoni is claiming that the harassment claim is false and that it's defamatory. So there's a lot to it. Oh, yeah, here it is. Harvey Levin said that the judge dismisses based on law, not based on questions of fact. Questions of fact are up for the jury. Yep. Do you go to get them? There's a link in the description below. What are you drinking? I'm drinking some Sauvignon Blanc that I got at the farmer's market this morning. Your voice is so pleasant. I've never enjoyed that song until you sang it. Which song did I sing? You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? I love your vibe and your moves. Thank you. Zack, thank you for your opinion on the CRD complaint by Blake Lively. The two lawyers praised her and her legal team about how great of a document was written. Maybe you should invite them to discuss it with you. Yeah, listen, they praised how well it was written, which I actually agree with them. It was well written. It was a greatly outlined argument. How strong the argument is, we'll have to wait and see. Oh my God, everyone's calling me Zaddy. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's Machiavelli and how she filed a complaint in California to give her protection for the New York Times, but she filed the complaint in New York to shield her lawsuit from the media. Yep. Hit the like button, guys. Yes, if you're enjoying this, definitely hit the like button. Please don't ever do that again. What did I do? When you donate to No More, please say that it is from the mommy and daddy sleuths fighting for justice for Justin Baldoni. Yes. Thank you. It is, trust me, the donation is not on behalf of me. The donation is on behalf of all of us mommy and daddy sleuths that are fighting for justice. Can you please get the two attorneys on to break down Brian Friedman's response to Blake Lively's request for dismissal? Yes, I want to collaborate with them again. I love those guys. The Big being disinvited to the Met Gala. Oh, they're claiming that they couldn't. I don't know why I don't know exactly what their reason is. Yeah, I don't know what exactly their reason was for claiming that they weren't going this year, but it's like I just remember seeing the headline like, "Oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that bad." She filed the CRD in California because of the strong anti-slap laws. Yeah. You're so great, Zach, in all your presentations, and welcome your wonderful personality. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, don't forget, get your merch. Merch that signals F around and find out. I know. Did you guys get your merch? Let me know so I can give you a shout out if you order. Thanks for donating to know more. I'm ordering now. Thank you. Let me know which item you are ordering. Type it in the live chat, and I'll give you a shout out before the live ends. But Colleen isn't donating to No More. No, she's selling her merch for $10 because nobody's buying it. Wait, where do we buy the merch? In the link in the description below. Let me see. Oh, you know what? Why don't I just type it in the damn live chat? That sounds like a great idea, right? Hello. You act like I've never done this, but I act like I've never done this before. And then I'll pull it up on the screen here. That way you guys can actually see the Mommy Sleuth shirts if you so choose. So here it is, Merch Labs, the Zack Pack merch store. We have Daddy Sleuth, Mommy Sleuth, Justice for Justin, and then, like I said, we also have the classic No Filter hoodies, the Zactivated tank tops, the Zack Pack t-shirts. So all of this is here and available if you want. You can get your Mommy Sleuth shirts. Boom. From now until April 11th, I will donate 50% of my proceeds from merch sales to the No More Foundation in support of survivors for domestic violence. Together, let's work to end DV and SV and create a brighter future for our kids. Limited edition product while supplies last. Boom. Final sale, no returns. Here's the thing. Get the thing. Do the thing. Look at all this. You can even do the Zack Pack shirts. Justice for Justin. Here it is. So cute. Says no filter in the back. So cute. So cute. So cute. So sexy. And then here's the one I'm wearing right now, which is Daddy Sleuth. I'm wearing a small for reference. So there you go. But yes, please type Zack is 3,000 away from 90,000. Yes, guys, we're so close. Ooh, look at wait, look at that. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I was working out this morning. I would love a Mommy Sleuth mug. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm loving your channel. I like how you present information, your energy and vibe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, guys, we're so close to hitting 90,000. We're so close to 100, but we're at 87,000 right now. Can we get to 90 by Monday? That would be the goal. So if you're not subscribed, definitely hit subscribe. Grandma Sleuths are still Mommy Sleuths. Yes, they are. Justice for Justin is so cute. Thank you. That's an amazing cause. Thank you. Not that I didn't like you, but I feel like you've gotten more comfortable in your reporting on this as time has passed my perception, but I really enjoy it. Thank you. Well, I mean, listen, a lot of this legal stuff is still new to me. I've covered other celeb legal scandals in the past, but like this one's a really sensitive nature, right? It's about SH, and that's a really serious accusation. And there's also parts of the law that I'm learning about through that, you know? Do you think Blake is going to sue Liz Plank somehow? I don't think so. Love the t-shirts. Thank you. I subscribed last week. Yay. Thank you. How about a Zack Hammer merch? Ooh, profile with the punch. I just ordered Justice for Justin. Yay. Thank you, Kenny G. And again, guys, when you get them, take photos, tag me in your stories so I can repost them. I kind of love the way the Hollywood machine is the small man behind the curtain. All the power dismantles. Yep, that's right. Zack, do you remember when we talked about the non-existent subpoena that Stephanie Jones supposedly had from Blake, and now she's being sued? Yep, it seems like our theories about Stephanie Jones have finally come true. Also, I guess, why don't I update you guys on Brandon Sklenar and what's her name? Jenny Slate. So, where is it? Here we go. I just posted this updates on Brandon Sklenar and Jenny Slate. So as we know, Brandon wore a matching brooch, Justin Baldoni, at the Vanity Fair Oscars party. That was on March 2nd. Then he posted a photo on Instagram with the caption, "Long live the brooch," right? Long live the brooch. Well, then on March 10th, or I believe it was actually March 9th, This is a slight discrepancy. It was March 9th, the day before. I think it was reported in the media on March 10th. But Brandon denied that the nod was in support of Justin Baldoni. He said, no, that was total happenstance. I don't know if I believe that. This brooch is way too similar. But so the latest is that Brandon Sklenar seems to still be, ready to eat out Ryan Reynolds because he's been liking a number of Ryan Reynolds social media posts. Most recently, the one that was posted 3 days ago on on March 19th, 2025, when he was at the UN. So there we can very clearly see Brandon Sklenar is still liking Ryan Reynolds' posts, showing he's still a fan of Ryan Reynolds. Then we have the Jenny Slate of it all. So in the Hollywood Reporter, we got confirmation that Jenny Slate was one of the women that was referenced that had raised concerns specifically with producer Jamie Heath, even though she publicly issued a statement of support with Blake Lively back in December after the complaint was initially filed and the New York Times initially reported all of this. She said, I stand by her. Well, she doesn't seem to be standing by her anymore because in a new article in the Hollywood Reporter this week, this was published on March 20th, she says, I don't have anything to say about that in response to questions about It Ends With Us and Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. She said, anyone can ask anything, but my only responsibility is to speak about the work I'm there to promote. It was so important for me to get this job, so why would I spend time talking about anything other than that? Well, Jenny, seems you're dialing back that support that you once gave out. Huh. Huh, huh, huh. Zach, you're being showered with so much love. Thank you. Just subscribed. Yay. Nana Sleuth. Love it. Small men's. Yes, I'm wearing a small men's right now. Well, the shirts are unisex, but yes, I'm wearing a small unisex shirt. There's a sizing guide on the site. What makes a sleuth? A sleuth, I mean, someone with critical thinking skills that's willing to do their own research and is damn good at it. Yes, grab your merch. Thank you, Judy. Kenny J. Zach, you looks gorgeous. The haircut is fab. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I heard the story about the TikTok girl being harassed at South by Southwest. Interesting. Are just making the sequel recast her. Yay, court of random opinion. DM me so I can send you one of well, I don't know. Do you want a daddy sleuth, a mommy sleuth, or do you want a justice for Justin? I'll send you one because I know you've been covering the case so well. I'm happy if you're willing to wear it on one of your live or on a day of your live streams. I'm more than happy to send you one. Like I said, guys, 50% of all proceeds from merch sales until April 11th, I'm going to be donating to No More, the No More Foundation. Has Jenny Slate pleaded the fifth? Yeah, I think she did ayahuasca. Now she's like, I can't remember anything. For the love of God, read the complaint. Yep. That's what Brandon said. CMKO says Brandon is boring, but he's hot. He's hot. We can't deny that. He is hot. I know you're going to get mad at me for that, but he is hot. You're my number one daddy sleuth, and Donna's my number one mommy sleuth. Yay! Guys, go send Donna some love. I know she's been a little down today, so go flood her with positive, sweet messages and let her know how much you appreciate her. Hi, Zach. Love you covering this. Thank you. I bet Brandon is enjoying an exciting Sunday looking at the wallpaper samples and eating dry cereal. Probably. Just bought a Justice for Justin shirt. Yay. Just ordered my mommy sleuth tee. Yay. What happened to Isabel Ferrer? She's still MIA. She is still MIA. I don't know. Now I'm singing Mommy Sleuth, do 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 do. Mommy Sleuth, do 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 do. Mommy Sleuth. Yay, Lisa just bought her Justice for Justin shirt. Yeah. Play, yes, subscribe. Love you and love the shirt. Thank you, Lee. Just ordered my Mommy Sleuth shirt. Thank you, Shelly. Yay, please DM me, Lauren. Any celebrity that supports Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds outright showing you who they are. Yeah. Love the Justice for Baldoni Justin shirt. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Looks like Justin unfollowed Ryan Reynolds and Colleen Hoover, but still follows Blake, Jenny, and Brandon. Interesting. Grab your friends, order your merch. Blake should love this shirt because there are florals on it. Grab your friends, wear your florals. He didn't even read the book. I love it. Sleuths are online investigators. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Got my Justice for Justin shirt. Yay. Thank you, Velo. Woo, woo. Ordered a Justice for Justin shirt. Yay. Hubby's name is also Justin. Probably confused some people. I love it. Daddy Sleuth. Do, 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 Daddy Sleuth. Do, 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 Daddy Sleuth. Daddy. Okay. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I will do a members only live on Sunday because I know we haven't done a members only this week. So let's do a members only this week. And maybe we'll read Justin's responses, his legal responses to Blake Lively's motion to dismiss because I hear it sassy. Or maybe we'll read Jennifer Abel's. Pick what document you want us to read. Because I hear Jennifer Abel's lawsuit against Stephanie Jones is also super sassy. Talk about your town hall episode. What do you want to talk? What about the town hall episode do you want to talk about? I want to know one puts Baldoni in the corner. I love it. What about the town hall episode do you guys want to talk about? Can we go work out together? Oof, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm lounging and listening to Zack today. Guys, go follow the Court of Random Opinion. Lauren has been on it. All the legal filings, she's been like, live, documents, get it. So, like, I'm like, whoof, I bow down. Read Jennifer Abel's response to Stephanie. It's so fun. I hear it's sad. I've seen bits of it, but I've been like all over the place. So, yeah. Sounds juicy. It's Miss Juicy Baby. What tension? Maybe we should do Abel, the newest one. I already follow Lauren. Love her. Yay. Okay. Team No Sleep. Yes. Okay. Let's wrap this up. I was like, oh, I'm going to do like a quick, like 20-minute video. And then here we are over an hour later. Anyway, guys, get your merch. Grab your friends. Wear your merch. Do the damn thing. I love you. I appreciate you. Did Dave ever get back to you on reaching out to Lorenz and her accepting your interview to her? You guys bet $100. Did we bet 100? No, he betted lunch. He's like, I will buy you lunch. There have been a lot of updates behind the scenes since that, but I'm going to save that for members only. So guys, please become a member on YouTube. I will answer whatever questions you have about this week's town hall and everything that has unfolded since then. So there you go. Why were you so mean to Dave? I didn't think I was being mean to Dave. Dave and I are fine. We've been chatting and everything. Oh yes, lunch. Yeah, we betted lunch. All right. So glad I subscribed. Yay. How do I become a member? There's a link in the description below. Someone did ask if the merch ships international. It does ship international. I believe we do ship internationally. Yes. Justice for Justin T. Yay. Thank you. Looking forward to members only. Yeah, I'll give you guys all the tea. All right. Love you. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. Ciao for now. Bye, guys. Get your merch, follow, subscribe, do all the things. Hit the like button on your way out. And we'll talk to you later, skater.